$350 if you want to get it.
I will get another one. Purple, because purple's the best.
Double check. So get you at $7 even. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Take it easy. Alrighty. Stupid V-cam's not working. Alright, well we're just gonna have to go without a B-cam today. Alright, I have no idea where I'm going today. I'm not going that way, that's for sure. A-cam's not even straight. B-cam's not working. Looks like I'm gonna be driving around in town looking for somewhere that screams at me, saying I might have to go take a picture of it. Alrighty. It's windy and it's like Thanksgiving and it's still like 75 degrees. Perfect weather. Except for the wind, of course. So what do I talk about? We are looking for a spot to take photos, but it's going to be boring up until then. So I'm just going to start talking to tell a story. So once upon a time, okay, I'm actually going to tell this story now that I think about it. Okay, so the day I got my 600, it was actually really funny. So I'm going to backtrack a bit. So way back when, like the day we graduated high school, my best friend, we like grew up together, did everything together. We graduated, and then immediately he went out and bought a bike, and we both learned how to ride on it. It was an old beat up GS 500, and he picked it up for like $1,000. That was like the best thing ever back then, because like I didn't know how bikes were supposed to run, so I didn't know how shitty that one was. All I knew was that it was just super fun to drive. And I was scared of it at first because it was just so hard to drive. It was awkward. Okay, so yeah, that bike, I believe it was like 2-cylinder, like only 1.5 of them worked, so it was just terrible to drive. Had to drive with the choke on, off, choked. Had to drive with it revving really loud. However, the choke position is on that. So that was basically the only way to drive, unless you're like gonna sacrifice 90% of your power. After having that bike for a bit, well, sharing it in a way, he bought it, it was his, but we were basically learning how to ride. I crashed it once, he crashed it like 2-3 times, and then once we learned how to ride, then I went out and bought my 250. So I learned how to ride. I had it for like a month, and then I was like, you know what, I don't want this. I outgrew it. I sold it. And then like 3 days later, I'm on Craigslist this whole time trying to look for a ZX6R. That's really what I was going for. I didn't really have anything else in mind. I didn't want a Yamaha VR6, but I did want a Super Sport, and that was what I was gonna get. So, ooh, speaking of Super Sports. Okay, so yeah, I was looking for ZX6Rs on Craigslist, and I found a Gixxer 600 for like, I don't know, $4 grand. I was gonna go for that one. And then I found a ZX6R for like 38, and I was like, you know what? That's the one I want. It was a 2006, and it was the older model. Had the round headlights. It was like the bronze with the red rims. It's like 38 grand or 3,800. I mean, and I started messaging this guy, and he sounded really cool. I was gonna head out to Phoenix to go see him and meet him. And like the day I was gonna go, he just stopped responding to my messages entirely. I have the cash in hand. I'm just gonna go buy one anyway. So I found the first bike on Craigslist that I saw. So yeah, after the ZX6R guy stopped talking to me, I had the cash in hand and I just wanted to, I was itching to buy one. So I immediately went back on, found the first bike I found was a rebuilt Title 2007 CBR 600. And I talked to the guy. I was like, you know what? I'll give you $3,500 cash tonight if you want to, if you sell it to me. He's like, a deal. But he lived 3.5 hours away, and my only mode of transportation at that time was my buddy's GS500. So I was like, hey, you want to drive me to Peoria? It's only 3.5 hours away. Yeah, okay, yeah. Next thing I know, I'm gearing up. I hop on the back of his bike. We two up. Holy crap. So we go two up, drive all the way to Peoria. We got there at like 11 p.m., maybe midnight, somewhere around there. Hanging out with this guy. He was really cool. Like, sure, he was selling me a bike, so of course it's gonna be cool, but I knew what was wrong with it. I mean, it had probably never had maintenance done on it in its life. It had been laid down on the left side. All the fairings were all aftermarket and they were zip tied on, but I didn't care. I wanted a 600, so I gave him the cash. And the funny thing was, the buddy with the GS500, he let me borrow $1,200. I told him I'd pay him back $1,500 for letting me borrow that much so I can get the 250. So he paid for half of it. I handed the one guy $3,500 in cash for the CBR. Paid back my friend $1,500 for helping me get my 250 in the first place. Everything was square. I had a 600, and it was already like 2 a.m. So I was like, you know, let's go find a motel for the night. So, and that was my first experience on a 600. That's what I did. I bought it. Never driven a 600 before in my life. And on the way from there to the motel, I had the time of my life. It was like 2 a.m. All the street lamps were on. It was scenic. Downtown Peoria. So we went to the motel. So the next day, we're gonna go get some breakfast. We go to a McDonald's. We go to my grandma's house because she lives out in that way. We stopped by. I was like, hey, look at my new toy. And she did not approve. She gave me a very stern lecture and was like, take it back and all that stuff. Of course I didn't listen. But then while we're at my grandmother's house, my friend's reaching in his jacket and he's like, huh, where's that envelope you gave me with $1,500 in it? And I'm like, shit, did you set it on the table? Is it still in your jacket? Check your backpack, dump it out, make sure you find that thing. We looked everywhere. Like, we had just gotten to my grandma's house, so we couldn't have put it down anywhere. And his backpack, we dumped it out. His jacket, emptied it. It was gone. We ran back to the motel, which was about 30 minutes back. Couldn't find it there. Went to the McDonald's, still didn't find it. Asked around. And after about, I'll say, an hour and a half of just driving around Peoria, backtracking our steps, checking the highway. Like, we were driving on either side of the highway, like in formation, trying to see if it got blown to the side of the highway. Just saw a little white envelope or whatever. We didn't find it, of course. We still joke about it to this day, but that was not a fun time. But we drove back 3 hours back home. I had my CBR 600, and then not long after that, his GS500 blew up. The moral of the story is, don't deal in cash. I got so caught up in that story, I stopped looking around for spots to take pictures. Shit. The hell? Ugh, I burped. Kinda glad B-Cam didn't work, just because of how shitty these roads are. The gay bar. Oh, that's not gay bar. Never mind. I got excited for a second. Oh, you know what? If I can make that turn, I'll go ahead and do it. I can. Alright. Bet that guy hates me, but it's okay. because I can do motorcycle things. That looks like a pretty interesting spot to take pictures. Even though this guy just ran a red light and got honked at. It's right next to me. Oh, that's why it's right next to me. I'm so sorry, camera. I can't even talk. Well, it's middle of, like, almost the end of November. It's like, it's the 21st right now. And, it's hot. I'm dying. Oh, by the way, I love this bike. It's a lot more comfy than the CBR was. But I can still go just as fast. So now I just gotta find a spot that would allow me to take pictures without getting arrested. Leaving city limits in the middle of the city. Oh my god, this road sucks. I don't know this road. I just know it sucks. Oh god. Gotta get out of that dirt path right there. I have no clue where this corner leads. Or how shitty it is. It's not terrible, I just didn't know it. Yeah, I'm not going left, that's for sure. I'll go right. Stuff in the road. Kawasaki Regional Park. Wonder why. Let's try this. Right here. Got a good old Arizona backdrop. Alright. Not bad. That'll have to do because I suck at finding spots. I hope the camera angle's straight because I can't see it. I just know that it wasn't straight before. I got some okay pictures. The location wasn't great, lighting wasn't great, but I'll make the most of it. See what I can do in the editing. Make them look okay. Alright, if they turned out okay, then I'll put a couple of them up on the screen so we can see them. However, I think I got everything. My backpack's closed. I was paranoid to left it open. well. Well, let me know what you think about the pictures. If you want to see more of them, my Instagram is always in the description. Well, always. That's starting like maybe last video. I think I put them in there. I don't know. You can find my Instagram. Now I just gotta find out how to get home from here. Ugh. This light is most assuredly not gonna turn for me. I'm just gonna have to run it. It's not gonna turn for me. Luckily, the freeway is a good indicator of where I am. And I'm gonna try to end this video before I get on that because you're not gonna be able to hear me. I can't hide behind a windscreen or anything. I guess this wasn't a photo mission, this is more of a story time, so I'll make this story time episode 1. What the hell? Where am I? Okay, now that looks like a freeway entrance. Unless it's not. If it's not, then oh well. I'll give it a shot. What are the odds that it's actually... Oh, it is a freeway entrance. Yeah, so this is gonna be story time episode 1. I'll do a photo mission later. I'll keep the camera rolling in case something happens, but if not,